make us the perfect choice for all your commercial electrical contractor needs. Contact us today.
Thanks to you. Standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Indiana, let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
TV, women's soccer is live on the air from the Hanover Soccer Complex. It is the championship match between the top-seeded Hanover Panthers as they host the 3-seed, the Transylvania Pioneers. Hello and good afternoon. Alongside Alex Hines, I am Austin Platt. Alex, it's that time of the year. The calendar flips from October to November, and that means we got to hand out some trophies today.
Yeah, and two really good teams both have had really good seasons. Fighting it out should be a really good one today.
Hanover comes into this one the top seed. They are hosting this entire tournament 13-1-4. They have been a complete kind of wagon almost the entire year. Their only loss to D1 Indiana, the Hoosiers, when they went up to Bloomington and lost, but their entire year they've been so good, both goal scoring and at the back. But the big storyline today, their top goal scorer, Beth Cook, 22 goals this year, a program record, out. She broke her foot in the semifinal win a few days ago. That's a pretty big loss.
I mean, absolutely. You mentioned the 22 goals, the program record, 8 assists to go along with it. Really the talisman in the forward end for this Hanover team. They're going to have to really work in the aggregate to find that attacking force, but I think they should be able to. Obviously, when you score as many goals as they did this season, it does become a full team effort. It's not just one player, but obviously that's a huge miss to have.
Absolutely. We will thank some of our sponsors here on this afternoon, helping us out here on HCAC.TV. Morales Group, building better futures, one story at a time. Thank you to Aspen Creek Grill. Why go anywhere else for delicious food? Burtner Electric, providing quality electrical services in central Indiana. Boilermaker 374, we're second to none in quality and performance. Clean Slate, inspired innovation that moves business forward. Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. And finally, Drumstick Dash, move your feet so others can sit. Others can eat. So, Alex, we continue talking about Hanover here. As much as they're going to miss Beth Cook today, at the back they have been so clean with all the clean sheets, and that's something that can definitely help them in a match like this.
Yeah, we talked about this right before going on air. 11 shutouts on the season. They've had 4 draws this year. 3 of them have been of the 0-0 variety. Even when they haven't necessarily been playing at their best, their defense has always kept them where they want to be, and that's one of the reasons why they've been so dominant over the course of the regular season.
Just 11 goals they've allowed. They've also kept 11 clean sheets, a big reason why Maggie Heingardner, the senior goalkeeper, has been fantastic between the posts.
And to your point, 11 goals that they've conceded, 6 of those came in a game against D1 Indiana. That's obviously a caveat you have to mention in there as well, just the 5 goals. Otherwise, that is really just a dominant back line. And while they're going to be up against a good team in Transylvania, they have a defense that they'll feel really confident in.
First-team all-conference player last year, and it's kind of going to be a team effort, you feel like, for Hanover. When you miss your top goal scorer, everyone else has to kind of elevate their game and allow Hanover to try and defend home field today and win this championship.
Yeah, and when you have a lack of attack at the front and one player missing, the defense becomes all that more important, and trying to weather the storm against a team that scored 60 goals in Transylvania. They certainly are a great offensive side as well, so you're not going to be seeing this as an easy game if you're the back line for Hanover.
Beautiful 61-degree afternoon. It finally feels like we're getting the right sense of fall. The weather here in southern Indiana been all over the place the last few weeks, but it finally feels like it is the perfect weather. The fans are filing in just across from us, and it feels like we're going to get a great atmosphere today.
Yeah, it's just perfect weather to have a game out here mid-afternoon. Nice afternoon.
We'll take a quick break here on HCAC.TV. When we come back, we'll talk more about the Transylvania Pioneers.
Every person has a story waiting to be told. Mr. Jack comes in every Monday.
Yeah, that's right.
One day I noticed his hat said he was a Korean War veteran. I asked him if he'd ever been to the Korean War Memorial.
No, I never had a chance to go.
That was the day I knew we had to do whatever it took to get him there.
Manny made it happen. I got to go to Washington, D.C. to all the memorials. The World War II Memorial, Naval Memorial, Korean War Memorial. Took all kind of pictures and everything, and it was a good trip, too.
I'm glad that I could be a part of Mr. Jack's story.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
We're back for HCAC Tournament Soccer here on HCAC.tv alongside Alex Hines. I'm Austin Platt. We talked about the Hanover Panthers before the break. Now it's time to talk about the Transylvania Pioneers. Third in the conference, 14-4-1, 7-2. Alex, they're coming off an upset win. They beat Mount St. Joseph 2-1 the other day in the semifinal. And they certainly feel, with knowing the opposition, missing your top player, that it has to give your team a sense of a boost almost and a lot of confidence going into this match on the road.
Absolutely, and they've also had a really good scoring team as well. 60 goals on the season, 35 in 11 games in conference, including the past 2 tournament games they've played in. When your other team is not going to be with their main scorer, when you can score like that, you'll feel very confident that if you can get ahead, you've got a good advantage for you.
Isabella White's kind of the player to look out for, the sophomore forward on the HCAC second team. But first, we'll step aside for the national anthem.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
A few minutes away from kickoff in the HCAC Women's Soccer Championship between Transylvania and Hanover. Alex, you were talking about Transylvania. Their main goal scorer, Isabella White, 11 goals, 10 assists. She's been fantastic up top for the Pioneers this year, and Transy's going to have to look for her today if they want to get another dub.
Double-digit in both goals and assists. 11 goals, 10 assists. Only 2 other players on the team have a combined total of 10, and she's got 10 in both. Dominant force creating and putting goals in the back of the net.
An interesting storyline this entire year, the goalkeeping situation for the Pioneers. Kind of been goalkeeper by committee. 3 freshmen are the main goalkeepers, and they all seen equal playing time. Today, Carrie Stevens, the one that gets the start.
Yeah, it's been somewhat of a carousel for them, but all have looked really good. All have kept their goal against average under 1. But Stevens, as you mentioned, is the one today. She started in the previous 6 of 7 games against teams to have made this tournament, including the first 2 games of it, and she's done very well overall with only 3 goals allowed in her 7 starts.
Just about ready for a kickoff. Remember, this is a 16 tournament, and we're here in the championship, so Hanover got a bye right to the semifinals, where they took care of business against Rolls-Holman 2-0, while Transylvania had to go on the road and beat Mount St. Joseph. So interesting with 6 teams, the byes and the way this tournament works out, but obviously you win and you punch yourself a ticket to the tournament and the selection show coming up on Monday afternoon, with the first and second rounds of the D3 tournament coming up next weekend. So it's a quick turnaround, and both these teams obviously would like to go into that tournament with the automatic bid and some confidence as well.
Absolutely, and you mentioned for Hanover the fact that they got that first round bye. They also get to play at home here in the championship as the top seed. That'll provide both an advantage just in terms of home field, but also a confidence advantage, knowing that you're the top seed going in. You have all the motivation, all the confidence in the world.
Panthers will be in their home white uniforms. We just saw Beth Cook, who is in attendance, even though she was out with that foot injury. But she is here rooting her team on. And there you see the Pioneers will get things started. They're moving from right to left. Players, coaches giving their final words of advice as we get set for a championship match between Transylvania and Hanover. here on HCAC.tv. Thanks for joining us here on this beautiful fall afternoon, first Saturday in November. You know, when the temperature cools down, the stakes only go up in a sport like college soccer. Beautiful 61-degree day, mostly sunny. Only a few clouds in the sky. A fall breeze as well. And we're underway. Ball sent out wide to White. That's their top goal scorer we were talking about. Ball sent over the top here by Hanover. Chasing forward is Rainbolt. Still a chance now in the box. Has it down to herself and finally cleared away. Whistle does blow. Offside flag went up. The assistant referee on the near side indicating that Rainbolt, the sophomore from Carmel, was behind the line of play. She's the one that it feels like Hanover's going to look forward to. 5 goals and an assist with the absence of Cook. 5 goals is towards the top now if you look at the rest of those players. Another chance, a pass just over the foot as Kaylee Shermer was looking for the ball. And now over on the far side, Hanover working quickly here with a quick throw-in. You can tell just the energy so far, Alex. You can feel the Panthers on their own field, kind of feeling that. Looking for Rainbolt again, but it goes out of play. It'll be a goal kick for the Pioneers.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Right on the pressure immediately. A few good opportunities. That first ball through to Rainbolt, even though she was offside. A good ball through, then a cross in there. So that's a team, they have the confidence. They know the attacking threat that they still pose without their star player on the front foot.
They're not making it easy right now for the Pioneers to try and clear it out. A cluster in the midfield. Panthers come away with it. Now they can reset. Finiseth now with it. Junior from Kentucky. A lot of these players from around the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio area. And their ball ends up going out of play. Shermer tried to keep it in, the freshman. Pioneers will toss it in. Lilia Steen from Paris, Kentucky, not to be confused with the capital of France. Abby Manning, the left back, turns it around. Pioneers have struggled to this point to kind of gain possession. You see there's an errant pass and kind of towards nobody. It'll be the Panthers' throw as they really have dominated the possession so far. Feels like we haven't even seen the other side of the field yet.
That's the kind of misplaced pass you really can't afford when you're up against a team like Hanover, and Transylvania will know they have the quality to avoid those kinds of simple mistakes.
Transylvania, the 3 seed, 14-4-1 this year, 7-2 in the conference. Hanover, 13-1-4. They have not lost at all in D3 play. 8-0-1, just 1 draw. And all 4 of their draws this year, 3 of them were 0-0, so they've been fantastic at the back. Throw in from Steen, sent down the line, and that ball is sent way up in the air right near the bench. If it came a few yards further, it might have hit us here on the roof. Well, clustered into the press box here. Good thing our cameraman is okay to the left of us. Most important, probably, member of our team today. It'll be a goal kick for Heingardner and the Panthers.
You can see for Transylvania right now, it's the MO has to be to just withstand this pressure that Hanover is putting on and trying to go on the counter attack. They're not really going to be able to control much of the possession, it feels, with the way that Hanover plays. So it's all going to be about, can you break with pace and can you be clinical when you have your opportunity?
Less than 5 minutes in, Rainbolt again was offside, so she had to wait for that ball to be played. Finally swept away by Stevens. But this pressure from Hanover is nonstop right now. Nice turn on the ball from Heil. Outnumbered 2v1. She falls to the ground and an attempted cross is blocked. And it'll be a throw-in for Hanover. Can almost feel that the message right now for the Pioneers is weather the storm. The initial pressure from Hanover being the 1 seed here in the championship game. They won it back in 2021, but lost in the first round of the tournament. So I know what it's like to play in these big games, especially as the 1 seed, the way they've dominated all year long. And then Seth will reset, and this back four for Hanover. Just about 5 minutes in, no score in this HCAC championship match between Hanover and Transylvania. There's another through ball. Here's Rainbolt again. She is onside into the box. And is it a corner or a goal kick? It is a corner for Hanover on the far side. You can tell Rainbolt's been that main striker and that main number 9, the target. Excellent through ball.
And in the end, just a tight angle, not much she could do with it, able to win a corner. I think that's probably the best case scenario you get out of that play with no one really forward to support, and now it's that piece to try and get something going.
First corner here for Hanover. Sent into a dangerous spot. Bit of a tight angle. Wasn't a lot of room left, and the ball will just roll out. It'll be a goal kick for the Pioneers, 6 minutes in.
Yeah, there were a couple bodies queued up there at the far post. Bettner got her foot to it, but just too elevated for her to do anything and a little too far for her to get her head on it. That's the idea, I think, from those set pieces. There was wide open space there.
Pioneers holding. They've made it difficult on themselves to try and clear the ball out of their own half. Another throw in for Hanover on the far side. On that last corner, the wind not playing too much of a factor quite yet. Flags are blowing a little bit, but not too much to where they should impact too much of the game. And the passing right now for the Pioneers just not quite there. Transy really having some trouble gaining possession really in the attacking half. They only had about 1 or 2 flurries in that part of the field. Audrey Rawls trying to bring things down for Transy, but it continues going the way of the Panthers. Here's Shermer again on the far side, trying to win a corner. The ball is blocked back to her. She keeps it in. A great move from her right to her left. She crosses one into a dangerous area, headed away, and then dealt with by the Pioneers. Not completely out of harm's way quite yet. Right as I say that, Transy able to move the ball out of the attacking third, but the number of throw-ins right now, Alex, we're running out of fingers to count on right now for Hanover.
Really just cannot find that outlet pass. Once they get control of the ball in their own half, it's forced to hoofing it forward and hoping.
Haley Stowe with it. We just saw one right there. Ball just sent ahead, but no teammate really in the vicinity. That's been an issue so far for the 3 seed. Another ball over the top. Collision, no foul. Play still remains. And finally a shot whisked wide of the net. Carrie Stevens didn't have to dive anywhere, but she will have a goal kick, and I think everyone on the Pioneer side can take a deep sigh of relief.
Yeah, that was something out of nothing for a moment there. It looked like they had it covered, but one back before the shot was just taken wide. But once again, Hanover living in the Transylvania half right now.
Goal kick taken by one of the outfield players for the Pioneers. Remember, no Beth Cook for Hanover, their top goal scorer, 22 goals. That's a program record. She's also in the top 3 in both career goals and points. Out with a broken foot she suffered in the semifinal win against Rolls-Holman earlier this week. Ball floating around near midfield. Warwick brings it down with the roar of the crowd, and now Finiseth can move ahead. The junior taken away by the Pioneers, but once again, Alex, it's the 3rd or 4th time we've seen a pass from the midfield and looking to send it into the other half. Hasn't found any teammates, and now a ball played back. Stevens has to come off her line and clear it away. it's been you can tell the nerves are certainly playing a factor right now for the Pioneers.
Yeah, definitely. This doesn't seem emblematic of the way that they seem to play this year. Just passing, not really finding the intended target, and it's really meant that they have to play with a lot more nerves knowing that they're pinned down in their half.
Attempted clearance. Hit one of the Pioneer players nearly on the hand, but play continues. About 10 minutes into this one, and it's been all Hanover. They have bossed the possession, had a few opportunities, a couple looks at goal, and a pair of corners as well, but nothing has come of it quite yet. Finiseth, the junior, with 3 assists this year, plays it out wide, and a foul against the Pioneers. It'll be a free kick for Hanover right near the midfield line.
I think the thing for Hanover as well is when they're out of possession, they still have about half of their squad forward in the attacking half, providing pressure off the ball on this Pioneer back line and midfield, and that's allowing them to just win the ball back so easily because they're cutting off the passing lanes.
Couple bodies forward. Ball goes in, a low liner that's headed away for now by Transy. Pund plays it ahead, and now finally White can move ahead forward here on this left wing. She's outnumbered 1v3, trying to get around everybody. Attempted clearance remains in play. Now it's Hanover having some trouble clearing it, but finally ball chipped up in the air by Shermer. Rainbolt tried to get something on it. Pioneers moving the other way. Back and forth now. Both teams kind of feeling the flow a little bit more, especially the Pioneers. Shermer wins the ball back as a teammate in the midfield. Lovely 1-2 passing here from the Panthers, and a ball goes out wide, allows Hanover to get some numbers forward. Cross goes in. It was deflected, but not quite to the feet of a teammate. Back in, and the cross from Rohrig turned more of into a shot, and Stevens with her gloves on it.
You just tried to cross and turn at the same time, unable to just get her foot around it enough, but another ball that just bounced around one too many times than the Pioneers would have liked, and allows another opportunity.
So Stevens goes down as a save in this season. Just 3 goals against. There's a pass and a great job by Heingartner to come out and snatch it. And the question is, at what price? She may have gotten knocked into one of her teammates. Kate Bettner was the one that went down. Here's a second look at it.
Just another pass in the back line that is nicked off the toe. Just unable to get enough power behind it there when she gets to the byline.
Going back to Stevens, just 3 goals against this year, a 90% save percentage. It's kind of been the one of the 3 freshmen that has really stuck out the most, and that is the reason why Ashley Reinecke and Marcus Aldaba, the 2 co-head coaches, have decided to put Stevens, the freshman from Kentucky, in net. Transylvania looking a bit better here, with some more touches in Hanover's half. That ball thumped into the air. Pass back to goal. Stevens gets it away for now. Here's Rohrig. Kennedy Rohrig, 1 goal this year as a defender, but we've seen her a bit more in the attacking half, which tells you that maybe the position of defender at this level, sometimes you get a lot of players that can play a multitude of positions, and maybe even as someone who's used to the back line can push up a little bit.
Yeah, especially when you've been playing for the most part on the front foot, you can start to push more players forward, knowing that you haven't really been challenged as much in the back line.
You can see a few of the Pioneer players trying to wave some of their attackers forward and really build something, and now we'll see our first substitutions here. The Pioneers will make a pair of them. Abby Rowe comes in, as does Caitlin Fike, a pair of juniors. In replace of Abby Manning, so a lot of juniors here on this Pioneer squad.
26, yeah.
So Benjamin and Manning come off. Rowe and Fike come on. So that's 2 juniors for 2 juniors. Attempted pass goes out of play and will roll down that little hill. And the ball boy over there will get his steps in.
Don't envy his position. Not necessarily the going down part. It's the coming back up when you get the ball. That's what's going to get you.
Especially in the second half. That's what really tests your endurance. Throw in for the Pioneers, right at the halfway line. Headed up by Cassie Lett, the senior midfielder, and out of play. Pioneers holding on to possession now in Hanover's half, and it's quickly taken away by one of the Panthers and sent down towards the near side. But again, Transy holding on to possession, but that pass couldn't find a teammate, but a miscommunication there, and you can tell this Hanover crowd is really helping out their home side right now. Any pass or even any throw that they win, that crowd kind of comes alive.
Yeah, especially on the side that's right next to them over there as well. I mean, you can see what they're trying to do, Transylvania, though, losing out on that occasion, trying to push forward when Hanover's midfield has been pushing on their own attacking side, and that's left really just the back line exposed all alone without any defensive midfield back for cover.
First 10 or so minutes really dominated by Hanover, but Transylvania done a better job kind of seeing themselves more into this match, but still no score. 28.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. In the HCAC Women's Soccer Conference Championship. Poor pass is intercepted by Shermer, but the foul goes against the Panthers. It'll be a free kick for Lily Stein and co.
Ball just got away from her a little bit on the heavy touch, and then from there just slides in a little bit recklessly.
Heil, one of the seniors on this team from Bowling Green, a Bellarmine transfer, started in 15 of the 17 games, but again Hanover with it. A ball played down the line out to the wing, cleared away, and it'll be a throw-in in a dangerous position in the attacking third for Hanover.
It's really been the first quality chance either team has had over the past 4 or 5 minutes. A lot of work in the midfield, but now a chance from a long throw to maybe create a little bit of havoc in the box from a more set play.
Cross goes in after a few passes. Reeves is the target. The midfielder, 13 goals this year. Scored 7 goals as a freshman and 2 goals as a sophomore. Really hasn't played since. You could see the injury and the brace she's wearing on that right leg of hers. Transy holding on to possession. Now at the halfway line with Steen. Pumps one forward. Nobody quite there. Ball sent up in the air. Headed back again after a collision between a pair of players near the midfield. It goes out of play. It'll be a Pioneer throw. Pund is going to have to wait as one of her teammates, Rowe, tying her shoes. One of the substitutions that came on a few minutes ago. The neon pink cleats. Can see those from a mile away.
Pressure in that box by Transy on that back line, but unable to really win anything back. It's just played off one of the attackers for a goal kick.
That'll be a throw-in for the Panthers. Finiseth the junior. There's Shermer. Picks out Reeves. It's a nice move to get it under her left, and now advance it ahead to Rainbolt. This is a nice build-up here for Hanover. Shermer, as a player running towards the box, couldn't pick her out. Now the Pioneers can move the other way. Here's some speed in the midfield. A nice run down the far side by Manning. And into the hands of Heingardner in the end, but that was the first good-looking run on the far side. Reeves waits and picks out Finiseth, and then the attempted second ball for Shermer was put out of play. An aggressive slide tackle. Successful. That time Finiseth could not keep it in. It'll be a transy throw. Just about halfway through this first half, still no score between TU and Hanover here in the Women's Soccer Championship in the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference in Division III of women's soccer. Both teams hoping to hear their names on Monday's selection show, and the first round of the tournament begins next week, so both teams will have about a week off.
Certainly after tough tournament play, regardless of who comes away with it, it'll be well-earned rest, to say the least.
Hard-fought match to this point between the 1 and 3 seed.
Oh, you've got to cross that.
Ball sent in towards the far side. One-touch cross, bouncing around in the box very dangerously, chested down. Nobody can get a hold of it, and finally cleared from danger, and there could have been a chance for a counterattack if Rainbolt brought that one down. You can tell that was the first time it felt like, Alex, that Transy had all of their players, at least enough of them, in the final third and even in the 18-yard box. Just that pass wasn't there and the ball bouncing around a little bit. No one could really get the shot on goal.
Yeah, and with the tight marking from the Panthers, it was going to be hard to try and take that ball down, but also it was not really a ball that you'd want to try first time either, so it was kind of a lose-lose situation on that attempt.
Foul called against the Panthers.
Coming together between the two, ball just bouncing up in the air.
Aaron Terry was the one that was called for it, the sophomore from Indianapolis. Last year played nearly 1,000 minutes, started 8 of the 17 matches. This year has 1 assist as a defender. And now the first set piece here for the Pioneers will be a free kick, about 30 or so yards out. Sent in, a couple players going down, headed in on goal, and the save made by Heingardner. Marin Roach, the fifth-year forward with the shot on goal, part of the HCAC first team last year.
She's got 5 goals this year, another attacking threat for this Pioneer team. Nearly able to end up cushioning it down a little bit. It didn't have the most power behind it, but almost could have fallen nice for a teammate.
Roach in her 5th year did not play in the year 2021. Here's a through ball out wide for Rainbolt. She's got that favorite left foot, but the cross went out of play. It'll be a goal kick. Could tell she was running out of room there. The angle was a bit too sharp. And that was the difference between getting it on goal in the box and having it go out of play.
Yeah, and you could see how quickly this Hanover team builds up from a goal kick, able to just rush bodies forward, find those through balls, and that's really how they've been able to work the space really well in the early going when they've been on the attack.
A lot of quick one-touch passing. There's an example there with Reeves trying to get it on that left foot as she went down. Her pass behind one of her teammates, and Nora Ludwig, 16. Junior from Cincy with 3 goals, also part of the first team all-conference last year. Hanover names just kind of littered on that list.
Comes with a great season as well. They were 12-3-3 last year, which also earned them regular season champion honors like they did this year.
Played ahead nicely. This is a nice build-up from the Pioneers. They find it out to Abby Rowe, and she's being chased down and then commits a foul as the ball was away from her. It'll be a free kick for Hanover in their own half with just over 20 and a half minutes remaining left here in half number 1. Alongside Alex Hines, I'm Austin Platt. Thanks for joining us here on HCAC TV, and you can see the collision at the end.
A little overzealous on it, just getting an arm around and drags the player to ground.
Fans on their feet as the official and the assistant referee on the far side talking things over, and now a conversation will be had. And here's why, Alex. Late challenge.
Once again, just going in towards the back, knocking the back of the leg, trying to go around. Foul's a little bit more disproportionate against Hanover, I should say.
There was a little bit of a shove there at the end, and I think that's what the assistant referee picked up on. There was the collision, and now he's going to stop play here. And it looks like I thought for a second he's going to pull out a card here. And here is the yellow card being assessed. So the first time the official pulling the card out of his pocket.
And again, I think you mentioned it's more because of the reaction, less than because of the actual infringement itself.
What? Okay. Who was the black card? 16. Thank you. He got dual and black out there. That's what I was asking. Oh, black and yellow too.
So it seems like there was a yellow card issued to both sides after that little tussle. So the ensuing free kick comes in, bounces around, and it is knocked off the crossbar by Heingartner. That ball bounced up, took a pretty big kick, and I'm not sure if Heingartner was completely aware of it, but she did her best and just knocked it out of play with a little help from the crossbar.
Yeah, I think usually on a free kick like that, you feel pretty good about watching that ball bounce in, and then for a split second, I think, had her heart in her mouth with that one bouncing up, but able to tip it over well.
You can tell this condition in the surface on the drier side. The ensuing corner goes into a dangerous area, headed away by Hanover. Two players jockeying for position. Foul not called. The referee plays the advantage. Rainbolt now is picked off, and now the foul is called after the possession was lost.
Are you going in for Clara?
Pretty cut and dry on that one, just dragging her to ground, trying to just prevent a counter-attacking option.
Especially with Hanover's speed, if there's, you believe in the quote of a good foul, then that might be up there as one of them, as both teams now getting ready to send in some substitutions. But first, Stevens clears the ball away from goal.
Who are you going in for?
Another shot goes in. Stevens moving to her right makes the comfortable save.
To go back to that foul as well, maybe a good foul, as you mentioned, also good refereeing, playing the advantage when you know a team is able to counter, give them the opportunity at least before having to go back when possession's lost.
Ball over the top. Reeves trying to work her way around, and the ball cleared away by the center back before Stevens could come out and deal with herself. And now we'll see a handful of substitutions. Looks like the Panthers will make 3 of them. The Pioneers will make 1. Cam Horsley will come in, as will Callan Johnson. Rainbolt will exit. She's had a pretty good impact on this first half, and she gets a fist bump from her head coach, James Watts. Hanover with the story history here, 7 tournament titles. One goes in towards the near post. Stevens in the right position to make that save.
Just couldn't get anything threatening with that throw in.
Olivia Patel also entering the match for Hanover. The sophomore was one of few listed as both a midfielder and a forward from Ohio. Has a goal and 2 assists this year. Ball goes out of play. Both teams looking for possession of the ball, but Transy will come away with it. And Lily Esteen started in 17 of 18 matches this year, now 18 of 19. Throws it in, and it's quickly sent out of play by Haley Stowe.
Pioneers will need to take advantage of these opportunities to get throw-ins or free kicks in the attacking half. Just even if you can hold on to the possession right now, that's what they really need to do. Ease some of the pressure on that back line and your goalkeeper.
Throw in towards the box. You can tell that the Pioneers, as there's one sent towards the box, bouncing around. Another cross cleared out by the Panthers, but the speed of this game, it feels like the Panthers want to play quicker, and the Pioneers want to slow things down a bit more, especially you can tell the throw-ins. The average time that it takes when the ball goes out for Hanover to throw it in is a lot quicker than what it is for Transy.
Yeah, and I think for Transy, the problem they've had is that Hanover speed translates to the defensive side as well. They're really trying to cut out those passes. They're swarming with pressure upon every pass, so you don't really have an opportunity to find a good pass and really think through where you're going to go with it.
Steen again, threw ball ahead, and the job is done very nicely. Got to give a lot of credit to Bettner.
A veteran move, one could say, for the junior, able to just push the attacker out to the side, and then the clearance able to knock it off of the attacker to win the goal kick.
.14.5 remaining in this first half. No score between Hanover and Transylvania in this women's soccer tournament championship match. Top-seeded Panthers, third-seeded Pioneers. Reeves looking to bring it down. You can tell the ball bouncing around, and both teams have needed to adjust to that. Tell the field in drier condition than maybe usual, just considering the way these teams have played with it. And you see there, Heimgartner had to deal with that earlier when the Pioneers had a free kick that bounced up and nearly found its way into the back of the net. And there's one that will just go out of play, out of reach of Callan Johnson, the senior. Johnson's had a goal and an assist in the tournament last year. 2 goals and 2 assists this year. Transfer from Belmont Abbey. Started in 11 of 22 games with a goal and an assist. Subs will enter, 1 for each side. Cassie Lett comes in, as does Araya for Transy. She has come in off the bench seemingly every match this year. 7 goals and 2 assists, so she's kind of a super sub. That ball went out of play again towards our area. Reeves comes away with it. She's got plenty of room to work with here in this midfield. Has attackers to the right and to the left. Goes to the right. The extra pass into the box. Ludwig nearly ran out of room. There's a promising build-up from Hanover. They made the selfless extra pass. Just wasn't quite at the feet of Nora Ludwig, the junior. See the cheering section for Hanover getting on their feet, making some noise.
They'll feel good on the front foot.
Collision. Johnson continues out with the ball. Now hands it back to Ludwig. Cross just behind goal. Be another goal kick for Stevens. It kind of feels like the pressure is coming in waves almost for Hanover. We saw it in the first 5 or 10 minutes of the match. We're seeing it here in these last few moments. See, there's plenty of space to work with on that right wing, Alex.
Exactly. It's finding those openings. You saw it with the other play right before it as well, where they took the extra pass. If the pass was on target, I think it would have been a great opportunity to get a shot on goal. But even then, it was all about finding that extra little bit of space on the attacking side, and that's really where they've been able to work a lot better than Transy has this afternoon.
That was an attempted pass. Don't know which teammate it was for the Pioneers, and now Horsley can come away with it. Extra pass made. Here's Ludwig again on the right. Her shot off the crossbar. A rising shot nearly found the back of the net, but the crossbar, the only thing separating both teams from a goal to this point. That was the most dangerous look. Let's go Panthers chant raining down from the crowd. They can certainly feel it right now, and another throw in here for Hanover. This was so close, Alex.
Crossbar can be your best friend. It can also be your worst enemy the next minute. Great ball trying to find that far post, just unable to keep it down enough. It looked like Stevens was caught a little bit unexpecting of that kind of cross-come shot almost.
Stevens was hoping that the crossbar would turn into a friend. Pioneers this year 6-1 with her in net. Free kick now for the Panthers in a dangerous spot. They have got 7 players lined up. Cross goes in towards the middle of the box, cleared away by Transylvania, and they finally get it more towards the center, where Stowe just knocks her foot into it, sends it ahead. Stevens came out of goal, almost was in no man's land for a second, but ends up with the ball in her hands.
It's been the third or fourth time there's been a little bit of miscommunication between goalkeeper and back line on who's going to go get it. This time, the goalkeeper, Stevens, able to get there without any issue.
Clean challenge there from the Pioneers. Referee said all ball, but the Panthers come away with it the other way. Johnson. Ball sent towards the corner flag. It'll be a throw-in, but first, substitutions again. 1 for each side. Rachel Green in for Pioneers. And Allie Bird, the freshman, who has a goal this year, enters, and Justin Reeves comes out of the match. Another one with a pretty good impact on this game to this point. Talking things over now with James Watts in front of us. A chance in the box. Ball is loose. No one can get on it. Pinballing around and finally cleared away by the Pioneers. Another cross into the box. A bunch of players just clustered around one area. But eventually there were enough black jerseys outnumbering the ones in white to where it was finally cleared away.
Yeah, it was a good first-time attempt there from Cassidy Lent, and then just got very frenetic in there in the box and just able to get it away.
Peyton Tan coming away with it. She leaves it to Green, senior midfielder, towards the top of the box. Player goes down right on the edge. Play continues. Hanover gets it out of the danger area for now. Sent back in. Attempted clearance. Missed by Stowe, but she had Heingartner right behind her to pick it up.
She'll say that was planned.
A good miss, as they say. It's like in tennis when the ball's going over your head and you try and volley it and you miss it. It's always a good miss.
Come on, Patel. Come on, Patel.
Throw in goes the way of the Pioneers. Green and Patel. 2 subs, both jockeying for position against one another. Actually, it was a free kick before the ball went out of play. Now Steen can send it in, but it's blocked by Allie Bird.
Just couldn't get the height on that free kick, but gains the field position.
Just about 7 minutes left here in the first half. No score. Plenty of chances for both sides. Both have hit the crossbar to this point. Another one into the box. Cleared away. No nonsense clearance by the Panthers. And there is Beth Cook, the injured Panther. She's got the boot on that left foot, but she comes out. Obviously one of the biggest supporters And she's been a big reason why Hanover has been so good this year. Undefeated in D3 play at 13-1-4. And a perfect 8-0-1 in the conference, just one draw. That clearance went out of play before it bounced off the line.
Shows the eagerness to hop out there with the brace on, trying to grab the ball, pass it to a teammate. The desire to be out there even if you're unable to.
We just heard Marcus Aldaba for the Pioneers come out and give his team a few words. Former Kentucky Director of Operations in his second year now with the Pioneers alongside Ashley Reinecke, who was former assistant coach, actually played at Seton Hall.
Certainly two coaches that know their way around the college soccer landscape. Certainly Kentucky, a program over the past few years that's been very good in the D1 ranks. Seton Hall as well, not a bad one to be playing at back in the playing days for Reinecke.
Goal kick for Heingartner. She sends it away. Nearly gets it to the halfway line. Johnson picks it up and then picks out Horsley, the freshman, all the way back to this back four on the two center backs as Heingartner gets another chance to clear one away, this one a bit higher. Horsley away with it, has a few players. It's a nicely threaded through ball and a nice give and go from Hanover. Under 5 minutes left in this first half, no score. There's a nice touch to advance things. Here's a shot at the top of the box, right into the hands of Stevens. Really good look on goal.
Good effort. Tough from that kind of range to find the back of the net, but certainly able to try the goalkeeper a little bit from there.
Horsley again away with it. She has been a bright spot for Hanover in the midfield. Ball sent down the line a bit too far, and it will roll down that little slope again. Another goal kick here for Heingartner, the senior. .817 save percentage this year, averaging a goal against average of right around .7. Kentucky native thumps it away. Played ahead for Bird. Came off the bench in favor of Reeves. Aaron Terry back to Stowe. Bit of a cluster in the midfield. Transy comes away with it. They'll look to slow things down for now and play it back to Steen. Feels like it's really been their tunnel to move things from one half to the other, but ball is picked up again here by Bird, the freshman off the bench. Another through ball down this right wing. That's where the Panthers have been attacking most of the time, towards the byline. Cross goes in towards the back post. Cassie Letts had some work to do to catch up to it, but she does just that and keeps it in. Back towards Terry. Ball gets flipped up in the air. An attempted turn from Horsley wasn't there. But you could tell Hanover really pinning Transylvania on their own half at the moment. Great move by Patel, holding on to the ball. And finally, Transy able to just get it out of that final third. And now we'll see a few more subs with just around 2 minutes left here in the first half.
And now for Transy, the goal just is to try and withstand this for 2 more minutes. That's all they really need. Get a look at that shot. Good to work some space, a little bit opening, but again, as I mentioned earlier, it's really hard to try and steer that into the net from about 18 yards or more.
That was Cassidy Lett, the senior midfielder, with the shot, playing in her 46th career game. She had plenty of space, so as a coach, you can't get mad at someone when you have that much room, even if it's outside the 18, to have a go. Ole chant, the soccer go-to, raining down. It feels like this crowd getting louder and louder. Towards the bleachers on the far side, many in the front row towards the fence. About a minute left here. Hanover maybe with one or two more chances to try and grab one and get some momentum going into the half. Patel, a fantastic move and a nice touch, and now plays it ahead. The attempted second pass wasn't quite there, and Steen had to clean up the mess. Quickly thrown back in towards the end line. Attempted cross blocked, out of play. It'll be a corner here for Hanover with about 35 seconds left. Brie Matiz will line everyone up and deliver this one in. Senior from Ohio, 10 goals in her career, had 4 goals each in her first 2 years. Cross goes in towards the near post, headed away with about 15 seconds left. A foot race for it. Sent back ahead towards the box. The offside flag is up on the near side. The boos come raining down. And that will do it for the first half of play here between Transylvania and Hanover. Alex, a scoreless first half that isn't to say that there weren't opportunities for both sides.
Yeah, both teams had a couple chances. Hanover certainly had the better of those, along with majority of the possession in the first half. It really felt like they knew they were the top seed and they played like it. They were really pinning back Transylvania for almost the entirety and just were able to try and get some opportunities, but only one or two really had very much menace behind it.
Hanover 0, Transylvania 0. We'll take a quick break here, and we'll be back for the second half of action. We're waiting to hand out a trophy today. Top-seeded Panthers in a duel right now with the 3-seeded Transy Pioneers. Alongside Alex Hines, I'm Austin Platt. You're watching HCAC Women's Soccer on HCAC.tv, where you always have a front row seat.
Every person has a story waiting to be told. Mr. Jack comes in every Monday.
Yeah, that's right.
One day I noticed his hat said he was a Korean War veteran. I asked him if he'd ever been to the Korean War Memorial.
No, I never had a chance to go.
That was the day I knew we had to do whatever it took to get him there.
Manny made it happen. I got to go to Washington, D.C. to all the memorials. The World War II Memorial, Naval Memorial, Korean War Memorial. Took all kind of pictures and everything, and it was a good trip, too.
I'm glad that I could be a part of Mr. Jack's story.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
You're good at keeping the car clean. good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
So I stopped in at Chick-fil-A for lunch and saw Officer Wilson come in. I decided to place a dine-in mobile order and have a cookie delivered to him just to show appreciation for his service for our community.
A few minutes later, I noticed that Officer Wilson had gotten up and left, and I knew he hadn't gotten his cookie yet.
And I'm headed to my car. I turn around and I see Allie, and she's running after me.
Mr. Police Officer, Mr. Police Officer.
Usually when someone yells, officer, officer, they want to ask me about a ticket they got. I absolutely wanted the cookie. This cookie is delicious.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
My name is Brittany. A little thing I love about the egg white grill is the toasty English muffin. It's toasted perfectly. It's just a little crispy, but not like hard crispy, but just crispy enough that when you bite into it, everything is perfect.
My name is Curtis, and I love the egg white grill because the egg itself, it's like soft and fluffy, like a pillow. I wouldn't eat my pillow, but I'd eat the Chick-fil-A breakfast egg white sandwich for sure.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Every person has a story waiting to be told. Mr. Jack comes in every Monday.
That's right.
One day I noticed his hat said he was a Korean War veteran. I asked him if he'd ever been to the Korean War Memorial.
No, I never had a chance to go.
That was the day I knew we had to do whatever it took to get him there.
Manny made it happen. I got to go to Washington, D.C. to all the memorials. The World War II Memorial, Naval Memorial, Korean War Memorial. Took all kind of pictures and everything, and it was a good trip, too.
I'm glad that I could be a part of Mr. Jack's story.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
So I stopped in at Chick-fil-A for lunch and saw Officer Wilson come in. I decided to place a dine-in mobile order and have a cookie delivered to him just to show appreciation for his service for our community.
A few minutes later, I noticed that Officer Wilson had gotten up and left, and I knew he hadn't gotten his cookie yet.
And I'm headed to my car. I turn around and I see Allie, and she's running after me.
Mr. Police Officer, Mr. Police Officer.
Usually when someone yells officer, officer, they want to ask me about a ticket they got. I absolutely wanted the cookie. This cookie's delicious.
Welcome back to HCAC Women's Soccer, the championship match. Getting ready for the second half between the Hanover Panthers and the Transylvania Pioneers. Alongside Alex Saenz, I'm Austin Platt. Alex, we got the first half stats right in front of us. Hanover definitely dominated that first half. 7 shots, 3 of them on goal. Carrie Stevens had to make 3 saves for the Pioneers, but it felt like Transylvania had their moments where they showed that they could attack the other goal as well.
Yeah, they definitely have to play further out on the counterattack. That's the way they're going to really need to play. But for Hanover, again, they've been really swarming that you really have to be, inch perfect on every single pass that you make in transition, because if you misplace one, Hanover can just continue to get the stranglehold in the attacking third.
Both teams looking for this conference championship, and we'll get ready for Selection Monday ahead of the NCAA tournament field. 64 teams will be in it, but there are only 22 of them that are at-large bids. There are 42 automatic bids handed out, so it is definitely, these conference championships mean so much more than any other tournament with the way the field works out. A few Panthers still tying their shoes, but we're just about ready for second half of play. Panthers now attacking from right to left. Justin Reeves is back on the field for the Panthers. Alex, what are you looking for in these first 5 minutes or so after both teams got time to chat with their coaches and talk things over?
I think it's whether Transy can really get any type of sustained possession in the attacking third to try and put any pressure on Hanover. This is their best chance. They're really come right out of the break, out of the team talk. What can they do to really enact things immediately? Because the longer this game goes on, the more likely I think it is that Hanover get the breakthrough rather than Transy.
We'll have a free kick here. A little less than a minute in. 3 players back for Hanover. Ball sent towards the top. We've seen if you let the ball bounce, it can turn dangerous, and there is a shot that goes well over the goal, over the netting as well. This is football, as it is a Saturday. That would be 3 points. Would have been right through the uprights, but in a sport like soccer, you get nothing for it.
Once again, a set piece for Hanover allows them to go forward. Just cannot really take advantage of it. But I think certainly they will have been more than pleased with how the first half went, with the way that they dominated on the attacking side.
Here's Isabella White, a sophomore who had it for a second, taken away by Reeves, Greenwood, Indiana native. 7 goals as a freshman. But didn't play last year, dealing with a right leg injury and kept her out. She has 13 goals this year as a senior, and there is a foul. The player down. A bit slow to get up, but a thumbs up given by Mackenzie Buckler.
Just a collision there, and foul was given more for just protection of a player when you're going in like that, trying to dive down to get a header.
Especially in that head neck area is always where you worry the most about potential injuries. The referee will always err on the side of caution. Here's Rainbow. She's got plenty of room ahead. Reeves is looking for it. Now she gets it beneath her feet. Ball's a bit behind her. The ball eventually rolls out. Offside flag was up. Thank you, Alex. You were on that from the beginning as Rainbow was looking for it. Rather, Reeves was looking for it from Rainbow. She continued running forward, and eventually she got just behind everyone else.
Yeah, it was really hard for her to check her run. She's waiting and waiting for the pass to arrive, and as she's slowly moving forward, drifting further and further offside. But again, Just the through ball was on for Hanover if they were able to get it onside. That's something we saw in the first half as well. They're able to really lurk in those spaces and then try and make the run forward.
Rainbow looking to get on it. That one comes up again near us. Rattles off the top of the box, and there'll be a throw in for Hanover. Shaylin Hussey, the sophomore from Fishers, 1 goal this year against UChicago, and our only shot of that match. Poor pass picked up by Shermer. Now the crowd really getting into it now with their side moving in their direction, and that one is cleared off the line. Rolls towards the end line and eventually doesn't even go out of play. Both teams kept it in, and finally it goes out.
Hanover will thrive on the energy on that near side, and Transy just unable, despite the ability to get past one defender, another just swarms in on them.
Ball picked out ahead, but too far. Stevens with it. Both goalkeepers combined for 5 saves in the first half. Hanover had right about 60% of possession, even though that number was much higher in the beginning of the first half. Now the Pioneers in the black moving from left to right, holding things on. Ball sent ahead, flicked on. Here's a chance in the box, a shot blocked. And finally cleared out, swept aside. It'll be a corner. Looked like Hussey, the sophomore, was there to block it. That was a key block on a shot that kind of snuck through. There's a second look, Alex.
Yeah, that might be the best chance we've seen in this game. The shot nearly opened up perfectly.
Just Transy's 3rd shot of the match, but it certainly was their most enticing one considering the proximity to goal. No problem for this Hanover backline, which has been so smooth this year, Alex. They have just 1 loss the entire year. That was to D1 Indiana. They lost 6-0 to the Hoosiers, but since then, and even in the beginning of the season, they have been great kind of on both sides of the field, really, and that's not forgetting that Beth Cook, their top goal scorer with 22 goals, out in this match with a broken foot. But it seems like the Panthers haven't missed her too much.
Yeah, and you mentioned the fact that, you know, their defense has been strong. I mean, even in those three of their 4 draws were 0-0s. They may not have had the attacking menace that they would have liked, but they were able to get a point out of it, get the defense strong in there, and in the end, those are still good games when you're able to keep a clean sheet.
Throw-in comes back to the taker, and that cross looked like it deflected off the head of a teammate and eventually into the hands of Heingartner. Ball bouncing up in the air. Steen just clears it out towards that student section.
They'll love every second Hanover on that side, right in front of the energetic students on that side every time they get forward on attack.
Reeves chips it up in the air. Looking to be brought down, swept away by the Pioneers. It'll be another throw-in for Hanover in the attacking third, and this could turn into a really good chance for Hanover at the start of the second half, about 8 minutes in.
Yeah, it was a good chance to try and take the ball down in the box as well. Hanover have had much more ability to hold on to the ball in the Transy box rather than the other way around. They've been afforded some space in the area.
Another throw-in for the Panthers. The shot was blocked. Rainbolt had it. She's got 5 goals this year. That's 3rd on the team. That's 2nd with players on the field, considering Cook is out with that foot injury. Hussey thumps it ahead into the feet of Reeves, who does a good job volleying it down. Rohrig will go after it. Look to play it ahead. It's going to be a lot of running for Shermer, and she's going to run out of room.
Once again, just a great chance for Transy to relieve some of that pressure and try and build something up. They've had 10 minutes of very little ability to hold on to anything. That ball just, again, put too far ahead.
Sent up in the air down the far side. Rainbolt chasing after it. She holds on to possession. A nice turn on that left foot of hers. Sent back up towards the box. Flicked on by Reeves. Cleared away for now by the Pioneers. But the Panthers, a really bright start to this second half after the Pioneers had a really good shot that was blocked. Ball goes out of play. It'll be a throw-in now for Transy. Tara Pund, the sophomore, chucks it forward. Shermer comes down with it, but it's sent right back the other way. Buckler, get it back here. On this near side, you can kind of see almost the divots that are in the ground on this near side on the right wing. Meaning the ball can take some topsy-turvy bounces, create some uncertainty.
I've already seen in the first half the ability for the ball to just bounce so high off the drier surface. Have to try and gauge it differently when it's in the air.
It'll be a corner here for the Pioneers. The first one of the match. Hanover had the only two in the first half. Cross goes in. Ball is knocked down and finally wrestled away by Heingardner. She may have been fouled as well. That ball was just kind of sitting there. She kind of grabbed it as if it was two siblings wrestling for something, and she finally just snatched it and said, "That's mine."
Yeah, just good strength there by the goalkeeper.
There's a hard foul, and it looks like we're going to see our third yellow card of the match issued to Kaylee Shermer. Hussey got a yellow card in the first half for the Panthers, as did Roach, the fifth year for Transy. There's our first one here in the second half. Ball up in the air, Alex, and just a bit harsh of a challenge from Tenen White.
Yeah, just mistimes the challenge there. Trying to go after the ball in the air, brings down the foot, and instead just ends up taking out the legs of the Transy attacker.
I got two already.
Free kick sent in towards goal, and Heingardner had to backtrack a little bit, almost play center field and make sure your first step is back and not in, to make sure that it wouldn't have gone towards that left post.
Yeah, great awareness there of where she is, able to take it away from an attacker that was lurking.
Ball bouncing up here, a bit dangerous, but Stevens in that teal kit comes out. Got to know as a goalkeeper, those big bounces, you have to be aggressive because the ball can easily get past your back line.
There hasn't been a ton of action for these two goalkeepers, but it's a great clinic for what you need to do, even on the simple opportunities when you're trying to just gauge where a ball's going to go.
Free kick here for Hanover. 12 minutes into this second half. HCAC Tournament Championship final here. Trophy will be handed out to one of these sides, either the 1 seed Hanover or the 3 seed Transy. Sent in towards the top of the box, deflected, and again cleared away to a certain extent. Pioneers don't quite have the numbers forward, so they'll slow down this attack for now. There's a great run down the far wing by Steen. Knocked out of play, and Hanover wins the throw, and before that throw-in, a trio of Panthers will re-enter the match. Rohrig, Finiseth, and Shermer will come off. Horsley, Lett are two that come on, as is Patel. Right around the hour mark here, still no score between these two sides here in the Heartland Conference. HCAC, ball sent down the line, but scooped up by Stevens. She'll slow things down, hold it for a second, and think about where she's going to send it. Look at that flick on. Nice bit of skill, but nobody was there. Ball stays in play right on the end line. Hanover will try and move it out of their own half. A nice quick 1-2-3 touch passes, and nothing comes of it. That ball's still in play. Pioneers trying to win the ball. They don't do so, but they do win a free kick in a dangerous area. You could tell tension's rising a little bit. There's a claim that maybe there was a bit of after effects.
See, great job trying to squeeze through. Just gets a little clip on in the end, and yeah, there's a little bit
shove.
of a push.
Yeah, Nora Ludwig took exception to the reaction after that foul was called. Wall is 2 for Hanover. Cross comes in from Transy. It's a good one, but scooped up on the short hop by Harngardner.
Just couldn't find the attacking runner at the near post. Certainly the crowd is feeling it today.
There's about 20 students or so, but they are making as much noise as you would think there would be hundreds of them. There's a sign out there, American flag flying. They are making as much noise as possible. Certainly a beautiful autumn afternoon to do just that. As they and the rest of the fans here at Hanover trying to cheer their team on to what would be their 8th tournament title. Get their 14th win of the season, and will also, if they shut out the Pioneers, it would be their 12th clean sheet. Steen plays it back, and pass is intercepted. Hanover had numbers forward. Reeves could have been in the clear down the right side, but Transy holds on to it. Buckler to White, just outnumbered by Hanover players. Panthers regain possession. Ball sent over the top. Looking for Reeves. That's a clever header into the path of Rainbolt. Reeves again. Picks out Horsley quite nicely. The freshman who just came on going to have a go with that left foot of hers from over 20 yards out. That's blocked. Ball unable to be brought down by one of the Pioneer forwards. We'll see another substitution here. Not right now. We'll have to wait a moment for that substitution. Callan Johnson was the one waiting. It looks like she's going to have to wait a few more seconds. She's holding that penny, waiting to hand it off to a teammate who she'll enter for, but it'll be most likely the next stoppage of play. Patel sent ahead towards Rainbow. It's in the air for Horsley. Horsley again. Head to Reeves. Taken away by the Pioneers, and they can go the other way. They don't have quite the numbers forward, but it's White making the run down the right side. Much bigger than the Panther she's attacking against, but can't quite make her way around her. Hussey did a good job getting the right angle on that. And now Hanover can clear it with about 27.5 minutes remaining here in this second half. Reeves turning back, making a move onto her left foot, creating some separation. There's a 1-2. Reeves, Rainbolt not quite on the same page.
Flick was the right idea there, I think. Just a little bit too heavy on it, but the combination play has been good up front. It's about trying to find that entry into the box that they've just been lacking over the past 5-10 minutes.
That ball knocked up in the air, a handball, however, thwarts that chance. Pretty obvious for the official. It was right in front of him.
Just a little too heavy on that touch. She would have been in a nice little bit of space had it found her, and a good shooting opportunity.
Reeves again in the box. That's Jostin Reeves. 7 goals as a freshman. This year she has 13 of them. Part of the second team All HCAC 2 years ago. She scored those 7 goals. This year has nearly doubled that count. Nice block by Hussey. And she does everything she can for now. It'll still be a throw-in for the Pioneers.
Pioneers have grown into the game just a little bit here in the second half. It's not necessarily as though they've been on the front foot a ton outside of that really good shot, but they've weathered the storm a lot better to where it hasn't felt like Hanover have been living in the attacking third.
Patel steps up to win the ball. She'll continue. A great run here from Patel. She's trying to send it forward to Horsley. Wasn't there. And now Ludwig is one of 3 players now that is in the book for a yellow card. And now here are those substitutions we were talking about. Johnson can now enter the match, as can 3 other players. Oriah in, Peyton Tan in. And Allie Bird re-enters as well. She had a good impact. So it's kind of, at this point, it seems for Hanover, Alex, that kind of right around the halfway point of the half, you see that the subs, that Bird comes in, Rainbolt comes out.
And I think part of it's just changing up the attacking front. That's the main subs they've been making, have been of the attacking variety. And it's all about just trying to get a different variation to figure out what they can do to try and break down this Transy defense.
Be throwing here for the Pioneers, looking to pull off the upset on the road, just like they did in the semifinals when they defeated Mount St. Joseph 2-1. Chipped ahead, headed up in the air. That's not a confident clearance. Do the trick for now. There's a chance, a cross back post, but important for Heingartner to come out, and then quickly she sends it in the air, sticks her right foot through it. Now it's a foot race going the other way. It was a slip at first from Stevens, but she is there.
In the end, very well ushered back. I think that was Manning who was able to just get enough of a touchback to her goalkeeper that took it away from Ludwig.
You can tell, Alex, the wind is playing much more of a factor. Both goalkeepers just completely punted it in the air, and the one that Heingartner kicked was a lot further than Stevens, and that's because the wind is moving from right to left.
As with Midwest weather, it rushes around just about anywhere. Won't be the same in each 5-minute span you're out there.
Another one sent down the line. Bird just off the bench, looking to win a foot race against Oriah. So both players that had just come on. And speaking of players coming on and off, more subs. Abby Rowe enters, as does Roerig. And Castiglione, seeing her first appearance, a sophomore from Fishers. Transy comes away with the ball in the defensive third. Pass was nearly taken away. Finally, it was by Rowe. Now Transy can sit in Hanover's half. Let's see what they can create with this flurry. Hanover had the numbers 2v1, and that's the reason why they win the throw.
Ludwig there, I think, was just looking for the ball out in front of her, was played behind her instead, and was unable to get the run on it, and allowed the defender to get back in time to win it back.
Steen running up with it. William Steen, the freshman from Kentucky, been a real bright spot today for Transy in the midfield. 5 goals and 8 assists. Started 17 of the previous 18 games. Over 1,500 minutes she has logged now. Just over 20 minutes left. Still nothing to separate Hanover and Transy. Patel comes out. Matisse replaces her, senior from Liberty Township, Ohio. 10 goals in her career. And the result will be a goal kick for the Pioneers.
Pioneers have weathered the storm very well through first 70 minutes of this game. You really feel that the way that Hanover's played over the course of the season, while the chances have not come in droves for Transylvania, they'll feel they've played rather well in one of the better games against Hanover that teams have done so far.
The official on the far side, his flag was up as that goal kick was being taken. It's something to do with the fans. We were told in the first half that someone would have to go over and kind of monitor them, and it wasn't because offside or anything like that. But it seems like there's a conversation being had now, the head official walking over as well. I'm not sure what was said over there, but they've made their voices very loud. And now a gentleman taking his hat off and trying to relay the message over to that student section. Now this place, which has been vibrant, a lot of noise, is now pin drop silent.
It looks like talking to is all that's needed to resolve whatever the exact issue was.
He's going into the stands now, so surely everyone's listening to him.
For Hanover here, this really kind of might work in their advantage, almost the way that just this game has been paused for a couple seconds now, close to a minute, and a game that has been working in Transylvania's favor so much in this second half. They've been able to push forward. Suddenly, that momentum is slowed down.
So we're trying to see where exactly this ball will be dropped. Transy was the one that had the goal kick as the whistle blew. So you'd think it's just going to be a drop kick and the Panthers are going to return it. Well, actually, they're just going to leave it to the Pioneers. And we're back underway. just under 20 minutes left here in regulation in the 90. Overtime would be needed if there's nothing to separate these sides. Free kick goes the way of the Panthers. They try to take it quickly, but ball goes out of play. The referee pointed one way, pointed the other way, but sticks with an initial call of Transy throw. Flicked out of play, and this time it'll be a Hanover throw. Hanover, the top team in the conference this year. Fantastic 13-win season. Looking to win the conference, as they did 2 years ago. They were ranked number 4th in Region 7 in the latest rankings, but with the way D3 soccer works, Alex, only 22 teams get that at-large bid, so winning one of those 42 automatic bids is that much more important. A chance in the box potentially. As I'm saying that for Transy, they can't quite keep the ball in. The ball slides underneath the feet of one of the Pioneers, and it'll be Hanover throw.
You mentioned with the at-large bids, many very good teams go home empty-handed by the end of the conference tourneys, and certainly possible that one of these two teams would as well, given how that works, despite both having very good seasons overall. Transy's 14-4-1 record, also phenomenal in the early going. It's been a good top end of this conference.
Even in the latest United Soccer Coaches Poll, the top 25 for D3, neither of these teams were even in it or received votes, which shows you just how top-heavy Division 3 is and how important a match like this truly is. And now another line change. We'll see Reeves and Rainbolt, the top two targets up top for Hanover, re-enter the match. Allie Bird exits. Knocked up in the air, bit of a collision right near the touchline, but play continues. Shermer back into the match as well for Hanover. And she heads it on over to the far side, but the first one there was Steen. Ball quickly moving both ways and dispossessed. Pioneers will move the other way. Peyton Tan trying to make a move on Shermer, but Shermer gets the better of her. That ball staying in play. Roach did a good job, Reeves did a good job keeping it in, but eventually it's not going to be the case. And I guess the word is from the official the ball did go out of play, it seems. That's why it's a Transy throw. Ball sent high into the Hanover afternoon, and then Shermer knocks it the other way. It's a foot race here. Rainbolt can't quite get there, and good positioning to allow Stevens to come out of the goal.
Yeah, once again, it's Manning who's had to shepherd it back to her goalkeeper and does just about as well as she could.
For a freshman, Stevens has looked very comfortable coming out of goal, communicating with her back line on those balls over the top where one mistake, one slip, or just straight miscommunication can lead to an easy goal. And the way this match is going, it feels like one goal is going to be the difference.
And to your point, Austin, it's she's a goalkeeper that, again, is a freshman. She's also been rotated around with two other goalkeepers. She does not have the same chemistry as if she was playing every single game, day in, day out. So to have that confidence in the back line and that back line have that confidence in you shows a lot about how those 8 games that she's played has gone, to where she's really worked up that rapport so well with her back line.
Stevens, Worth, and Henderson, the 3 goalkeepers, all of them have started in at least 6. And here's a potential chance for Hanover. They have numbers forward, running down the right side. They have both Reeves and Rainbolt in there, and finally the ball ends up in the hands of Stevens right as we were bringing up her name. That was a really good chance for Hanover. They had basically 3v1.
Yeah, and once again, it's Manning who's able to just get back enough in time And while she gets beaten in the end, it slows down the play and allows for a defensive goalkeeper as well to really get better set. Make it go to nothing.
That shot got deflected as well, which made it that much harder for Stevens, but she kept her focus, did not lose sight of the ball. Araya plays it out wide. It's Abby Rowe now. That one cleared away. Good job on the back line by Hanover, but it's still not completely out of the danger area. Transy opts to play it back. Sent forward by Cottongim, and a player goes down. Play continues. Here's Steen. Her shot kind of turned into a pass as she fell over. And a nice deflection to get that one all the way out to the halfway line.
Period of possession that Transy's not had almost entirely this game. Always been under pressure, but now they've been able to grow into it.
Hanover looking to attack on the break. Reeves sends it back to Shermer. It's Reeves again. And now Terry. A lot of this match has been dictated in the midfield. We're seeing that right now with Hanover attacking. 13 minutes left in regulation. Still nothing to separate the two sides here in this conference championship. Winner will hoist the hardware and punch an automatic ticket to the NCAA tournament. The other will have to wait on Monday at 1:30 when the selection show is to see if their name will be revealed. There's a shot from distance, but it is cued wide. Slicing shot from Rohrig.
Says a lot that that's what she had to resort to there. This Pioneer defense has been up to the task for the majority of this. As you can see again, the defense able to step forward to get it somewhat clear, and then from there, a shot that did not have much threat to the goalkeeper.
Steen gets it away, it's deflected, and it's a throw-in for Hanover. Pardon me, it's a throw-in for the Pioneers. Plenty of room over here in the middle for Transy to work with. There's an outlet pass to the right. That's where Buckler is. Finally, she'll receive it down this right flank. Waiting for it, takes a touch. Takes another touch, setting it up, but there was too much time granted. And Hanover came in to block it. Now it's Heil. Collision, and well played by Bettner to just wait for it as her opponent went down. Still kept in to the Hanover half. Exactly 11 minutes remaining and separating both these teams from what would be extra time if neither team can find a breakthrough. To the byline, cross goes in. It's a dangerous one. Header just wide. It was bouncing around dangerously. Kind of available if the Pioneers want to get that second shot, but after that we'll see 3 more substitutions. Ludwig, Horsley, kind of the top players coming back in after getting a little bit of rest, it seems like. Cassidy Lett was the third one. She had that shot from way outside the 18-yard box that ended up being on goal. That was earlier in the second half. Shots total after the first half, 7-2 in favor of Hanover. Feels it's been relatively the same in the second half as well. There is Cassie Lett running after it. Ball will go towards the end line and near the corner, a dangerous spot. And Lett watches it go out of play. It'll be a Transy throw. And now the Pioneers will make a pair of substitutions. Tara Pund and Maddie Benjamin both into the match. Araya and Rawls are replaced. It's kind of now all about Alex managing the minutes. Who do you want on for the last few moments of a game? Because it feels like now a goal would basically feel like a game winner.
Yeah, and I think, the way that they've played, they've really had to be careful on both ends.
There's a shot from distance, and it is in! No, it's over the bar. I got ahead of myself. The shot was saved by Stevens. It just went over. This is how close it was, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, a shot from distance, well taken, and just pushed just enough over the bar. Again, even from that angle, it didn't necessarily look like it immediately, but a huge save there on a tough shot.
The shot was from Ludwig. I think there were a couple of Hanover players that thought it went in as well. But we remain scoreless with 8.5 to go. Another crossing in towards the box. A few players there. There's a header, and there is a comfortable save for Stevens right at her left post.
She'll definitely take that one as opposed to the previous one. Not much power behind that header coming in from Horsley.
It's kind of a free header as well. The ball took a deflection, and that's why it ended up going to Horsley, not anybody else. And she was kind of unmarked and had a free header, a free look at goal, but could only find the gloves of Stevens.
Yeah, it took some of the pace off of it. That deflection meant that a lot harder to try and generate your own power from a header as opposed to just taking what's given to you.
Knocked up in the air. This is going to be a chance here for Transy. Sent down the line, cleared out. Pioneer throw.
Chance to try and get that huge opportunity. And Buckler for Transy's just been all up and down the pitch from that fullback spot.
Ball knocked out of play. Both teams pointing in direction, but it's a corner here for Transy. Just their second of the match. 7 minutes left.
And in the end, just trying to just tap it in the end for Rowe.
Another one into the box. The header off target, but still in play. Goalie was off her line, still headed up, still not out of danger, and a header goes over the bar. And it looks like there was a foul maybe in the build-up to that. There's a Pioneer down right now. Clock will stop with just about 6:19 exactly remaining. Looks like everyone's okay, but another flurry in the box. We've seen at times defending has been a bit shaky. Ball was up in the air for some time, Alex, and eventually kind of a clash of heads.
And just unable to get her head on top of that ball. Instead, just a little bit too far under it. But even the initial cross from the corner was threatening and a big opportunity off the rebound.
About 6 minutes left for both teams to find a breakthrough. If we're still tied after that, there will be 2 10-minute overtime periods with no golden goal, so no matter what happens, you play the entire 20. And then if still tied, you go to a penalty shootout. Whistle goes the way of the Pioneers. It'll be, it looks like a throw-in for Transy.
I think Hanover got a little bit ahead of themselves. They're trying to maybe win a little bit of favor with it.
It's actually a free kick and not a throw-in, it looks like. Right on the end line near the student section and the assistant referee. Thumped forward by the Panthers. Now Transy will try and get something going here, but it's taken away. Panthers have plenty of numbers in the midfield, but the pass only finds, well, actually it went out of play at first. So either way, it's going to be a transy throw. Attacked a lot down that left wing. Another ball that just goes out of play before being advanced up the field. Olivia Patel will come back into the match. Sprinting in, knowing every second's valuable, but the handoff on the penny exchange, not the best. She will go throw this in a sprint. That was a dead sprint from one side to the other. She knew her job and got there as quickly as possible. Even though there was an extra player on the field. This isn't hockey. There's no too many men or women on the field at once. So substitution made, and now Hanover can have a throw.
Wouldn't have been the best relay time, however,
No.
with the handoff. But the straight sprint time was top-notch.
If they want to try the 4x100 in the Olympics next year, they're going to have to work on it. Hanover holding on to possession. Under 4 minutes left. Ball was intended for Reeves, but nobody was there, but a foul is earned. With 3 minutes, 49 seconds and counting for Hanover, and now the Panthers can get everyone up in the box if they want to, and Olivia Patel, the sophomore from Batavia, Ohio, seems like she's going to be one that sends it in. She is talking with Nora Ludwig right now about where she wants everyone lined up. The only player back, the only outfield player back for Hanover is Haley Stowe. She's right at the halfway line. Here comes Patel's free kick towards the middle of the box, headed down, but nobody was there behind everyone else, and it's picked up by Stevens.
Looked like Lett just barely got her head to it, but again, could not generate any power behind it, and in the end, just harmlessly goes to Stevens.
Taken away. Again, Reeves is 3-on-2, numbers forward here for Hanover. Reeves on her right foot, cutting to her left. Reeves sliding to the ground, didn't get the strongest shot. It looked like it did not take a deflection. And it ends up, it went out of play. It'll be a goal kick for Transy. This may have been the best chance at the end, Alex.
Yeah. She had Horsley on her left. I think she probably could have passed it to her a little bit early, right on the edge of the box, and opened up and really taken advantage of the numbers there. But in the end, when she goes alone, cuts the angle off for herself, made it a lot more difficult for her to get anything out of it.
Felt like at the end of the first half, Hanover really pushing for that goal, and we said at the end of the first, Transy just wanted to get into the halftime break without conceding, and it feels like that's the case here in the final 2 minutes and change of regulation. All signs are pointing to a 20-minute extra time, but Hanover would love to change that and score one here in the final moments. Patel, fresh onto the pitch. She's been bright off the bench. Sent towards the top of the box, headed down by Transy, and the second clearance. Just kind of send it away from everyone else. Just kind of play it where they ain't right now. For Transy, ball bouncing around. Abby Manning, who we've talked about, has had a fantastic game on the left. Clears that one out, throwing for Hanover.
Anywhere will do territory.
90 seconds left in overtime, rather in regulation. There's a cross down low. It is deflected. It'll be a corner for Hanover. Lauren Rainbolt was the one there, and it almost seems like that Hanover is trailing by a goal, just the sheer amount of numbers they're sending forward. Almost is like they're playing with some urgency.
1 minute remaining.
Final minute. How many more chances are there in regulation to potentially steal one? That corner, not the best service. Back out. Hanover will get another chance at it. Sent back towards the box, bouncing around. Transy clears, as you mentioned, Alex. Anywhere will do for now. Be another throw-in for Ludwig. Sends it down the line. Was aiming for Patel or Horsley. Neither of them are there, and that one rolls out of play. And it feels like now Transy can just eat as much time off the clock as they want and try and get this thing to extra time.
Huge chances with just a minute left, and once again, Transy's defense has remained firm, and Hanover just haven't been able to find that final pass.
Ball knocked up, nearly hit one of the players in the face. Final 10 seconds. Is there one more chance for Transy? They'll just send it down the wing.
4, 3,
Abby Rowe is there. Another player goes down, and that will do it for regulation. Still nothing to separate the two sides. There will be a 5-minute quick intermission for both teams to talk things over. An exciting 90 minutes, Alex, and the best part is we're going to need to see a goal or penalty kicks, and a fantastic final few moments, especially for Hanover.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want a little bit of bonus soccer? I mean, it's a beautiful day here, and I mean, what more could you ask for?
We will get that overtime too in a few moments, but first we will take a break here on HCAC.TV, where you always have a front row seat. Don't go anywhere.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
As the final countdown plays here at the Hanover Soccer Complex, that means one thing and one thing only. Extra time is needed to decide the HCAC Women's Soccer Championship between the Panthers of Hanover and the Pioneers of Transylvania. Thanks for joining us. Fantastic match of soccer we have been treated to. Alex, what are you looking for as we play out the 20-minute overtime, 2 10-minute halves, and no golden goal? Remember, that's a newer rule in the sport.
Yeah, well, I think for Hanover, they've come out of the breaks much better, and they've ended the halves much quicker as well, and these are much shorter periods. They will have a lot of the possession, I feel, and I think with the way they've played this game, they haven't really found that last little breakthrough, but at the same time, I think this benefits them a lot more than it does Transy with the way they've had sustained possession, sustained pressure for more of this game. But again, Transy looked good in that second half coming out of the break, and maybe another team talk here before this extra time period will be all they need to get that jolt.
It feels like without their top scorer, Beth Cook, Hanover have been utilizing a lot of their substitutions. We've seen them, it feels like, make a lot more of them and kind of just trying to switch up and kind of divvy up those minutes almost between a handful of players. Meanwhile, for Transy, they were certainly the happier team to get to extra time, considering the way the last few minutes ended. A couple of really good chances for Hanover to steal it at the end, it felt like, but instead, 2 20-minute halves. What do you look for them, for the visitors, if they want to try and find a goal here?
I think they just need to be able to control the game a little bit. They've been playing on the back foot so often today, but the few times that they've been able to sustain some possession, get in the attacking half and play with the ball, they've looked really good, and they've had a few quality opportunities. So I think for them, it's all about just finding a little bit of time to be on the ball and withstand the pressure that you're seeing right now from Hanover.
Hanover again moving from left to right. There's a pass over the top. Potential early chance here for Reeves. But it's Stevens that comes out. Took a bit of a hit from Reeves after that. You could tell Hanover quickly out of the gates. Got a couple players forward. Another one over the top looking for Reeves. Sent out of that area, but now another dangerous attacker in Shermer. Here's Shermer again. Kaylee Shermer. 5 goals this year.
No, yeah. 16 is not out there. 16 is married. Thank you.
Transy now holding on to it. Sent down the line. Hanover has it. Their back line, it feels like they're operating more of a back 3 here in this overtime. Attempted cross looking for Shermer, who nearly caught a boot to the face. There's a through ball. Rainbolt chasing after it, sent back to the keeper in Stevens, who clears it away, but it finds the feet of Shermer. A throw in, and you could tell Hanover using that restart and trying to go quickly.
We talked about it earlier. They like to play with pace. They like to play fast. And the restarts, again, was something you mentioned earlier in the first half, I believe, that they're willing to just take it quickly.
That cross up in the air didn't get as much on it. It's a good job from Transy to just let it go out of play. Looked like Rawls that just kind of used her back shoulder to her advantage. You can see all the footsteps now in that 18-yard box. Reeves over the top looking for Rainbolt. Sent high in the air. Rawls brings it down. Now chips it ahead, but it's headed the other way by Terry. Now Transy for the first time in this extra period can send it the other way. That ball goes nearly underneath the bleachers. Throw in for Transy. About 2.5 minutes in to this first of 2 overtime periods. No golden goal. So they'll play the entire 20 with a quick stoppage in between. If we're still tied, it's penalties. Number 1, Hanover. Number 3, Transylvania. Winner takes the HCAC conference title. Here's a chance. The shot. Big save. Heingardner comes up clutch, diving to her right. It It was Isabella White, the sophomore, with a low liner on that right foot of hers. And the first really big save that the senior Heingartners had to make today.
Just a great save down to her right. She's looked really good the few opportunities she's had to make saves.
That ball sent over the top. Plenty of time for Transy to get there. But that second pass was sniffed out.
And White
Seth was there to clear it out.
And White would be the person you'd expect, gets over it well and hits it hard, looking for that 12th goal. She's the big attacking threat that we really haven't seen very much of today.
11 goals, 10 assists. She's the only one with 10 of both, or actually 10 of either. 11 goals and 10 assists. Started in all but one match this year. Nearly half of her shots go on goal. She's got a pretty good percentage. And she just showed us why. Justin Reeves can't win the ball. Transy with a throw-in. Aggressive tackle. A good job from Rohrig to win the ball. Send it down the line, but Rainbow hadn't caught up to it yet. It's not a great pass from Finiseth, but it ended up working out. Hanover can move once again, attacking down the right-hand side of the pitch. On the far side, on that flank. Rohrig sends it out wide. Cross goes in, chested down, dangerous. But Transy does well to clear it away. Hanover basically has all 10 outfield players in the Transy half. There's one knocked ahead. Ludwig takes over for Hanover. Reeves not going to catch up to it. Sent away for now. Not completely out. Shermer went to ground. And now Transy can just hoof it forward. Finiseth. Now Rohrig trying to hold possession. Nobody can do so. And now you can see Transy really starting to slow things down. It feels like the pace sometimes has caught up to them, Alex, and that's where some of those turnovers have been forced.
Yeah, absolutely. They play a lot better when they slow down and play more methodical. And the pressure from Hanover not coming as thick and fast as it was early on.
Terry onto it. Got dispossessed. You can hear Transy's co-head coach, Marcus Aldaba, very vocal right now, making sure everything's in the right place, and that one goes out of play. It'll be a goal kick for the Panthers, and as I say that, Hanover with 3 substitutions. Patel and Cassidy let 2 of the players to come on. Constant movement for Hanover. Remember, they're without their top goal scorer, Beth Cook, who broke her foot in the semifinal win against Rose Holman a few days ago. Those teams actually drew 0-0 at the end of the regular season, but with Hanover getting a bye, they went all the way to the semis, and they ended up beating Rose Holman 2-0 in that match. It was right here in Hanover, and they're looking to defend home field again here in this championship. In the first of 2 overtimes, just under 3 minutes left. Aaron Roach comes back into the fray for Transy. She's got 5 goals, 3 assists this year, part of that HCAC first team last year. 5th year from Lexington. That one goes out of play. Sent out, cleared by Patel toward her teammates. About 2 minutes left in this first overtime. It's moved pretty quickly. Hanover with a few flurries in the box. Transy has held on to possession the last few minutes. Haven't been able to create too much. Now it's Horsley, dispossessed by Isabella White. She had the best shot of this overtime, one that was saved by Heingardner. That's really the best chance of the match, it feels like, in either regulation or this extra time. Long throw-in for Transy, the 3 seed, flicked on towards that sub, but Roach couldn't get anything on it. She tried to pass it backwards and be selfless, didn't end up working, and there is a handball, but the referee's going to allow play to continue. Rainbolt was looking for Reeves and that forward connection. It will be Patel's throw. A minute left here in overtime number 1. Two balls on the field here.
Pretty sure you can't play with both.
Don't think so. Unless the rules have changed in the last few moments. That one goes out of play. Not the greatest throw. Patel, Rainbolt. There's a nice flick on towards Roach. Roach plays it back for Matisse, and now Transy will stretch the rest of the pitch out and find the far wing. 6 or 7 players up in the box. Everyone's waiting for this cross, but Hanover not making it easy for Transy to do that. Finally attempted cross, deflected, goes towards the box. Final 10 seconds. Hanover clears it out. Rainbolt will do the rest. Ball up in the air, and that will do it for overtime number 1. Still nothing to separate Transy and Hanover. Quick 2-minute intermission between the first and second overtime. Alex, that was a fiery 10 minutes, especially the big shot came from Isabella White, but Heingardner, who hasn't had to make too many big stops like that, came up with a huge one.
Yeah, and I think you got a little bit of the better of both teams in this overtime compared to regulation, especially from Transy in that last little bit of play, really able to get forward, try and hold on to possession in the attacking side and create something, and obviously you mentioned highlighted by that big shot that was saved. Otherwise, Hanover, they still had the ability to get forward, but it just hasn't felt like they've threatened enough with that final pass.
We'll take a quick break here on HCAC.tv. We'll be back in a moment for the second overtime period, where you always have a front row seat.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Waiting the final 10 minutes of overtime here, this second period. Hanover and Transylvania in the HCAC Women's Soccer Championship. Thanks for joining us on this beautiful fall afternoon. November the 4th on this Saturday, alongside Alex Hines, I'm Austin Platt. We have been treated to a fantastic first 100 minutes of soccer between the top seeded Hanover Panthers and the 3 seed, the Transylvania Pioneers. Shots after the 90 minutes, shots on goal were 6-3 in favor of Hanover, but it was the Pioneers that got probably the best shot of the entire game, with Isabella White right before we went to break.
Yeah, and I mean, she's the one you really want to get on the end of it if you're Transylvania. She's the leading scorer for this team. She really is able to get forward, but that was her first real action of the game. And so now with just 10 minutes to decide this, that's where she needs to be the focal point for this Transy attack on every single chance they can get.
Final 10 minutes. If a goal is scored, they will still play out the remainder of the second overtime. If there's still nothing to separate the sides, then the championship will be decided on penalties. Entertainment value certainly at an all-time high. you're just joining us, well, you haven't missed any goals, but Hanover is without their top goal scorer, Beth Cook. Broke her foot in the semifinal win. Here's a chance for Reeves, cutting to her right. Had a few players aimed to her left. Shermer was one of them, and she'll try and chase this one down, but she'll just let it go out of play for a Hanover throw. Here's Nora Ludwig. She's kind of been Hanover's set piece taker. She'll take this throw in right near the corner flag. Gets it back from Shermer. One into the box. Dangerous! Another one that just goes over the bar. A few of the Hanover players thought it was in. By the way, it bounced, but just maybe the wind played a big factor, and here it was. An attempted cross turned into a shot, Alex.
Yeah, just got a lot of height under it. The wind can take it just a little bit. In the end, Stevens looked to have it covered, but certainly not without a little bit of nerviness first.
Goal kick, which has been taken by majority of the outfield players this entire afternoon for Transy. Warwick, another shot at it, sends it forward. A free kick, one for Hanover, as that attempted clearance was unsuccessful for Abby Manning, who has been a force at the left back position.
She's had a lot of work to do, and she's done so well against a very high-powered attack, even without their star piece.
So this free kick, Hanover always kind of has a bunch of players queued up towards the top of the box. This one, a teasing ball, headed down. Shermer trying to head it back. Loose, popped up in the air. No one can win it. It's loose again, blocked by Roach. May have taken one to the dome. Another shot high and wide into the netting behind the goal. Finiseth was the one that got that last shot off. Junior from Kentucky.
I mean, anything can happen when the ball bounces around the way it did. There were appeals from the fans, at least, for a hand on that ball that was shot, I believe, off of Roach. But again, just bouncing all over the place.
Throwing for Transy. Steen gets it in, looking for Roach. Nearly brought down, advanced ahead, down the flank, and that one cleared out of play. 7 minutes left here in the second overtime. If still tied, the championship will be decided on penalty kicks. All kind of bouncing around. Not easy for Stevens there. She gets it out, but it's a chance here. Offside flag is up. Ludwig thought she was in after that ball. You could tell uneven bounces, not easy for Stevens, and you could tell by the clearance she wasn't very confident.
Yeah, absolutely. She had it pop up just a little bit on her right when she's trying to kick it, and in the end nearly gifted a huge opportunity. Bailed out by the flag.
Sent forward by Transy. They don't have the numbers up there quite yet, considering they've been pinned within their own half for really the entirety of these 4 minutes, but there's a clean challenge. Now Transy can move things forward. Roach gonna win the foot race. Off balance, her cross was blocked, and that allows Hanover to get it nearly to the halfway line. It's a throw in for Steen. 5 goals and 8 assists this year for the freshmen. A lot of freshmen playing big minutes for both sides here in this championship match, and it feels like all the nerves that we saw maybe in the first 10 minutes of the match are gone, but still in this second overtime where it feels like a goal wouldn't end it immediately, but it feels like would be a game winner. Everyone is playing with confidence. That ball stays in. Hanover trying to move it ahead. They can, but center back there for Transy. Gets it out to Steen, but her attempted chance to possess the ball was unsuccessful, and now more subs for Hanover. Rainbolt, Patel, and Lett, the 3 that come in. That's kind of the top 3, it feels like, forwards right now.
And at this point, attack has to be the way you go if you're making substitutions. It's all or nothing at this point with just 4 minutes and a half to go.
Feels like Hanover has their best 4 forwards on the field if you include Justin Reeves, who's listed as a midfielder, but we've seen her a lot up top. That's a free kick in favor of Hanover. Patel will take it, fresh on the pitch. Cassie Lett was raising her hand looking for the ball. Down the near flank, Patel sticks her right foot into it. It's a good ball. Lett thought about a shot at goal. She's taken a couple of those today, and Ludwig just watches it go out. It's a throw-in for Hanover. 4 minutes remaining in the overtime. Reeves back to Ludwig. Roach trying to disrupt that pass. Foul is called. Maybe a high boot from Reeves. She tried to bring that one down with that right foot. Under 4 minutes left. Roach sends it forward. Transy just trying to do their best to, it seems like, get this match to penalties, considering the way they've been pinned in. And just look at this attack from Hanover. Cross into the box, knocked away. Cleared out again, but the wind playing a big factor. Certainly helping out Hanover more than Transy. That ball a bit too firm from Rohrig. Will go all the way out. It will be a goal kick for the Pioneers, as they will bring in Sienna Araya and Caitlin Fike. Freshman and a junior respectively, who have played plenty of minutes this year.
It's a deep squad that this Transylvania team has. A lot of players that have gotten significant amount of minutes, and they've needed all of them that they can use here just to hold on.
Reeves with it. Picks out Lett. Here's Rainbow, the left-footed shot! There is the goal that Hanover's been looking for! Lauren Rainbolt, the sophomore, with her 6th of the season, arguably her biggest. And with 2.5 minutes left, the Hanover Panthers lead 1-0.
Number 27, Cassidy Lett, on the assist.
Well put in there by Lett, and just a little inch of space that she finds and able to pick out a corner with her left boot. Phenomenal finish. It's something we haven't been finding at all in this game, and to do it with 2.5 minutes to go, huge.
It could be her final touch of the game. She comes off, is subbed off, immediately met with a hug by Beth Cook. What a goal, a fantastic touch to get it from her right to her left, and then the blink of an eye, that ball was in the back of the net. She's getting mobbed by her teammates. Match is still not over. Transy has, I say some time, not a lot of time, 2:20 remaining. And now any time that Hanover can kill the clock, they most certainly will. Lauren Rainbolt, the sophomore from Carmel, Indiana. Last year with just 1 goal in 12 games. This year, her 6th goal of the year. A strike that she certainly will never forget if it holds true to be the winner. Now there are 2 minutes left. Hanover can feel it. Now just trying to keep it in the opponent half. Taken away by Rohrig. Anything will do on that side of the field right now for the Panthers. 1:30 left. Just about 90 seconds remain. Another one just sent up in the air and sent down. This will be a throw-in for Transy, but they got plenty of work to do in terms of advancing up the field. Hanover's not going to make it easy. 75 seconds remaining. Headed up in the air. Hussey runs after it, getting hounded by Audrey Rawls. Free kick in favor of Hanover.
1 minute remaining. 1 minute.
Final minute separating Hanover from another HCAC. Conference title would be their 8th. It'll give them an automatic berth into the NCAA tournament, which begins next week. All sent way up in the air. Precious seconds ticking off the clock. 45 seconds left. Rohrig trying to win the header. It's sent up, and this could be a chance for Roach and Transy. Roach getting past one, getting past two Panthers. Roach into the box, cleared out. It'll be a throw-in here for Transy. Time running out. Feels like this could be one of the last flurries. Awaiting across into the box, into the hands of Heingardner, and that, Alex, will just about do it.
Good attempted cross in, only finds the goalkeeper.
8, 7.
Heingardner kicks it away as far as she possibly can. Final seconds ticking off the clock. And the Hanover Panthers have won the HCAC Women's Soccer Championship.
HCAC tournament title 1-0. We ask that you please remain seated for the trophy presentation.
1-0 the final. The game winner from Lauren Rainbolt in this second overtime. The Panthers are on the field. The fans that have waited all 110 minutes are storming the field as well. Everyone is surrounding Maggie Heingardner. And the seeds hold true in this tournament as Hanover defends home field. A fantastic match, Alex. A fantastic effort for Transylvania. And it feels they just got shorted a chance at penalties, but what a result, and the celebration well-deserved for the Panthers.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned it, Transylvania. Huge effort, put in a huge shift through all but the last 2 minutes for it to end. But again, Hanover, such an experienced team, such a successful team this season, and when you're able to hold on like that, they felt the confidence was with them. They'd only lost one game against a Division I team, able to just hold on, survive, and then put things away in the end.
You can see the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat on hand as the team's now shaking hands, the fans on the field pointing up to the skies. Celebration has to be halted for now as sportsmanship obviously always comes first. A bunch of dejected Transy players, a bunch of very excited Hanover players on the contrary. We'll take a quick break here on HCAC.tv. We'll be back for the awards ceremony. You're watching HCAC Soccer, where you always have a front row seat.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
The match may be over, but the celebration just beginning for the Hanover Panthers after their 1-0 win in the HCAC Women's Soccer Tournament Championship. Panthers took down Transylvania, the Pioneers, by a score of 1-0 after 2 overtimes. The winner coming from Lauren Rainbolt with about 3 minutes left. And now we'll see the awards ceremony, Alex, and the Panthers celebrating, obviously. Beth Cook, their top goal scorer, broke her foot, was out for this match, but you can feel the excitement that she and the rest of this team has.
Yeah, absolutely. When you have such a successful season as they had this year, it felt like they were a dominant team. They were put up with some adversity in this game without their top scorer, pushed into overtime, pushed nearly to penalties, and just the ability to keep pushing through, hold on, and then find victory in the last moments. Just huge, and you probably couldn't have painted a better picture for this game.
You can see the photo, team photo being taken, now the t-shirts being handed out here in the Heartland Conference. I'm sure those t-shirts will feel good on everybody on this Hanover side. They had to battle, work tooth and nail all 110 minutes before they found the breakthrough goal in about the 108th minute from Lauren Rainbolt, the sophomore. Everyone is saying wear it right now. From the white Hanover jerseys to the white conference champion t-shirts. It'll make for a good photo. And here is The match-winning goal, Alex, in the 108th minute. This touch right here from Rainbow, the difference in the left-footed strike is perfect.
Yeah, that was absolute perfect touch to start. And then, again, she doesn't have much space to take that shot, but able just to find a shot with her left boot. Couldn't have placed it any better than that.
Here to present the awards on behalf of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference is Assistant Commissioner Grace Shaw.
We'll send it down to the PA announcer as both teams head back to their respective benches and will now announce the awards.
Tournament team from Anderson University, Hannah Case. From Franklin College, Caitlin Hewitt. From Rose Holman, Kyra Hicks. From Rose Holman, Lauren Marquardt. From Mount St. Joseph, Alondro Sotelo. From Mount St. Joseph, Anna Best. And from your HCAC tournament runner-up, Transylvania Pioneers, number 8, Audrey Rawls. Number 16, Moran Roach. And number 17, Lilia Steen. And now, for the HCAC tournament champions, your Hanover College Panthers. Number 0, Maggie Heingardner. Number 32, Erin Terry. And number 3, Kennedy Rory. And now, your 2023 tournament MVP, number 30, Lauren Rainbow. At this time, we would like to take a moment to recognize the HCAC tournament runner-up. Congratulations to the Transylvania Pioneers. And now, your HCAC tournament champions. Congratulations to the Hanover College Panthers. Hanover, after winning the HCAC tournament championship, has earned the automatic bid into the 2023 NCAA Division III Soccer Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your support of D3 Soccer, and please drive safe.
How do you pronounce your last name? Thank you. Well, you just saw the championship celebration and the entire team, conference team being announced. A fantastic game. We have plenty of people to thank for our entire crew. Chuck Levine to my left, our producer today, obviously Keith Myers, who basically set us up, Alex. A fantastic job by everyone, and we got to watch an excellent game. And, of course, our final thank you, Daniel Thacker, our cameraman, who was out there for all 110 minutes, did a fantastic job. So wrapping things up for my broadcast partner, Alex Hines, I'm Austin Platt saying so long. You just watched a presentation of HCAC Soccer on HCAC.tv, where you always have a front row seat.